Coming up on the program, good behaviour on the waters this summer, the life and times of David Poole, the Bay's shocking road toll last year, and we chat to Emily Rice. Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Tuesday, the 27th of January. I'm Hilary Entwistle. If you have been out on the waters of the Bay of Plenty this summer, you can pat yourself on the back for good behaviour. The region's maritime officers and harbour wardens issued a total of 18 $200 infringement notices and 31 warnings from the 1st of December last year. Bay of Plenty Regional Council's Regional Harbour Master, Peter Buell, says the number of infringements and warnings was very small compared to the number of people using the water. Speeding was the most common offence, with 25 boaties breaching the 5-knot rule within 200 metres of the shore, swimmers or another vessel. 9 people received an infringement notice or fine and the others received a warning. On Rotorua Lake, speeding was also an issue. Stand-up paddleboarders and kayakers not carrying or wearing a life jacket and towing a water skier without an observer. There were all the expected thrills and spills at ASB Bay Park this weekend as audiences were strapped in for 2 days of exhilarating, heart-pounding and action-packed jet sprint racing. 49 competitors accurately navigated their way through the transformed water-filled stadium jet sprint track on Saturday and Sunday in round 2 of the NZ V8 Jet Sprint Championship Series. Despite being outnumbered by New Zealand competitors, it was the Australians who claimed glory, with Aussie driver Fonzie Mulan in his canary yellow Ramjet racing a boat taking out the superboats class both days. Event director Pip Minnell says it was a fantastic weekend, a huge success with really pleasing crowd numbers, and Sunday proved the bigger day. Dreams of representing New Zealand Sevens on the Olympic stage are a step closer for 3 Bay of Plenty women after they gained national contracts for the 2015 season. Morgan Morrow, Cully Brazier and Alexis Tapsell have all been included in the 19-strong New Zealand Women's Sevens squad to contest the World Women's Rugby Sevens Series. For Morrow, it indicates a rapid rise after she entered the fold late last year as part of the squad for the Dubai leg of the World Series. Former Kiwi Fern Charlotte Scanlon from Auckland is the other player to receive her first contract. Women's coach Sean Horan says last weekend's National Sevens tournament has been the perfect platform for not only finalising their selections, but to form the crucial backbone of his Olympic hopefuls. Hamilton fine spells, a shower or 2 in the afternoon, light winds and a very high of 29 and an overnight low of 15. Waikato fine spells and scattered afternoon and evening showers and light winds. Paeroa 28 and an overnight low of 17, Matamata 25 and an overnight low of 17, Te Awamutu 29 and 15 and Tukuroa 26 and 15. Tauranga fine spells, a shower or 2 from the afternoon and light winds. Your expected high is 27 and an overnight low of 18. The rest of the bay, fine spells and scattered afternoon and evening showers. Te Puke 25 and an overnight low of 18. Now for the marine forecast, west coast Raglan, variable 10 knots, sea slight and a southwest swell from 1 metre changing to a southerly of 10 knots. Your high tide is at 5:38 p.m. East coast rising to an easterly of 25 knots in the morning with a few showers. And 2:36 is your high tide in Tauranga. Just ahead, some interesting artworks from David Poole. Welcome back to Central News. The Creative Tauranga Art Gallery is currently showing Hopi artist David Poole's work. I spoke to him about the inspiration behind his interesting creations.
This particular pieces are about innocence and purity, where my stepson had a baby, so it was my birth gift to the baby, so that even though they have it, but it actually belongs to the baby and just represents all of that. And I've put in around all the ancestral parts that come into things, or the whakapapa. So that's my main thought on it.
Because you have all these amazing, I guess we could say, figurines. Somebody's even called them dolls, you said to me earlier.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, what do people say? What do people call them?
I don't know really. I've never really taken much notice of what they've actually called them, apart from when they call them a doll, right? Because I just laugh. I think it's funny because to me it's far from a doll. If you actually, once you start to dig down underneath the whole process about what it represents of archetypal figures that represent humanity. So it doesn't matter what country, what religion, whatever, the basic thing fits in anywhere.
And why that? Why did you want to start creating these figures that resemble that?
Well, it started from a portrait I was doing 30 years ago maybe, and it was a profile portrait. And I had all this space because the person was sitting to one side of the piece of paper, and I had all the space, and I just thought I need to put something in there to fill that space. And I came up with an idea of putting silhouettes there of figures. So that's how they first emerged. And so this is like 35 years later, how they're now manifested into 3D. And as you'll see, there are all sorts of different materials that I've used over the period of time.
Yeah, moving around your exhibition, you do see that you've got, paintings, collages, but yes, you do have these figurines, for lack of a better word. And you've got these beautiful, I thought they were Nico palms, but they're not, are they?
No, they're palm tree seed pods. There are different types of palm trees. So, yeah, but they're basically the seed pods of a palm tree.
What on earth made you pick one up one day and said, I know what I'm going to do?
Oh, well, because I lived in England and London for 31 years, and so they don't have palm trees there, right? So when I came back here, I was at a gallery, and someone came in with some seed pods and said to the gallery owner, do you want these? And I took one look at them and said, that'll do, I can make a figure out of that.
Why have you kept with this, making these figurines? What is the inspiration behind them? Why do you keep wanting to make them?
Yeah. It's my thought on just on humanity itself. I suppose I'm quite interested in how human beings tick. So it's my little bit of fun and games, really, is to produce these, because I really enjoy when people look at them and they project all their ideas about what they think it means or what it looks like. And to me, I suppose I laugh because they have no idea they're revealing themselves. They think they're talking about what I do. And what I do has nothing to do with what they say.
The exhibition runs till February the 6th. In our next story, 2014's road toll is not something to be proud of for the Western Bay of Plenty.
So for the Western Bay of Plenty, which includes the Tauranga area, there were 14 fatal crashes and 16 people lost their lives on our roads last year.
What were some of the contributing factors to those incidents?
So of the 14 fatal crashes we had last year, 9 of them were vehicles crossing the centre line and colliding either head-on or into other vehicles going the other way. So that's a significant increase on what we've had previously.
So what is the next move for the police this year? Is there anything that you're going to try and do to improve the situation?
Look, in terms of our outcomes last year from previous years, We haven't radically changed what we're doing, so we're going to have a high visible presence on the roading network. You will see marked police vehicles. We're going to be enforcing the speed limit, breath testing drivers. You'll see a lot of checkpoints at all hours of the night and day. It's business as usual, but I guess if you wanted a step change, it would be drivers need to take responsibility for their actions. It's not a police issue alone, it's everybody that shares the road needs to participate in this.
Is it worrying for the police though when we have such a high road toll?
It should be worrying more for everybody using the road network, drivers, passengers, cyclists and pedestrians. We have to pick up the pieces, but we're a small part of the motoring public, so everyone should be worried.
As you said, the majority of these crashes were caused on by head-ons from people crossing the centre line. How does that happen? Are people actually crossing the centre line that often?
There are a number of contributing factors to the ultimate outcome of a crossing centre line crash. Fatigue has been a significant issue in a number of them. Alcohol has featured. We thought cell phones were an issue and texting in one of the crashes. We've since ruled that out. But certainly fatigue and alcohol and not paying attention to where you're going.
Was that the young girl that passed away in Te Puna with the...
Yes.
So, I mean, what can we do if somebody's going to cross, is there a way we can actually protect ourselves?
Look, my advice to people would be drive defensively. You always need to focus on what you're doing. That's one of the reasons cell phones should never be used in a car. You need 100% of your concentration on what's going on around you in the driving environment. So when you see a vehicle coming towards you that just doesn't look right, it's weaving in its lane or it's touching the centre line, you need to be prepared to brake or to take evasive action. You can't do that if you're not paying attention. So your number one rule is to pay attention all the time, 100%.
And sometimes I see people quite often crossing the centre line when they take a corner. Is there a safer way that we could be driving around corners?
Well, the lines are painted on roads as a bit of a guide. There's a clue in that. And yes, we do see people cutting corners. It's not a safe way to drive. It's even less safe if there's a car coming the other way. Not a lot of the crashes have been caused by people deliberately cutting corners, but it's not a good way to drive. If you allow your skills or your concentration to slip in small areas, then things roll on from there and it just gets worse.
When you say most of these crashes were caused by fatigue, what do you mean by that? Like these people had been driving for a very long time, or they had finished shift work, or?
Shift work doesn't seem to have been a major issue. Sleep deprivation, so people who've been unwell or for a variety of lifestyle choices, either stress-related issues or work-related family issues, or some of them who have driven a long way. Lacking in sleep catches up with them when you're driving your car. And some of the research shows that these fatigue-related crashes more often happen on roads you're familiar with because your brain switches off. Your subconscious says, I know this road, I know what's happening, it's too easy to switch off, and before you know it, you're nodding off as well.
Up next, seniors tennis. Welcome back to Central News on TV Central. If you are a senior and enjoy a bit of tennis, you could enter the Otomotai Tennis Club in Tauranga's Waitangi tournament. I spoke with Vivian Jones to find out more.
The tournament attracts players from basically all over the North Island. It's run on February the 6th and February the 7th. And on February the 6th we have the men's and ladies doubles, and then on the 7th we have the mixed doubles, and we would expect between 100 and 200 players for the weekend.
Wow. Whereabouts do people come from to?
Well, as far south probably as Whanganui, and maybe Palmerston North, Gisborne, Hamilton, Matamata, Rotorua, possibly Taupo, some areas of Auckland, and possibly a little further north of Auckland. And also the players, because it's a weekend and the Sunday is a free day, they make a long weekend of it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a little bit of a institution almost, because it has been going for quite a number of years, hasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it has. The Aotearoa Club have hosted this tournament for many years, probably in excess of 20, and in its early days, it was run as what was called a handicap tournament. Not that the players were handicapped. The idea was that the lower grade ability players, if they played somebody who was much better and they lost the game, then the winner of that game then started at a deficit of minus 15.
Oh.
Right. And if the winner won 3 consecutive games, then obviously his or their fourth game would be at minus 40. So it made for some interesting games.
Yeah.
But that was discontinued after a number of years, and the players then were put into sections where they were more of more equal ability.
Speaking of abilities and equality, when you have the mixed doubles, is
Yes.
there a bit of is it usually wife and husband, or?
No, sometimes it is wife and husband, but quite often it's people who've known one another for a number of years through tennis. There is an opportunity to catch up with a lot of friends as well on the courts.
Yeah, as I said earlier, it sounds like a bit of an institution. It's been going for 25 years. People travel from all over the country for it.
Yes.
So remind us again the dates and how we can get involved.
Okay, the dates are February the 6th and February the 7th. The information is on the Tennis New Zealand website and the Waikato Bays Tennis website, and obviously on the Aotearoa Tennis Club website. For people who have no access to computers, there's a standard form which they can use to enter and post the entry in.
You can find out how to enter on Tennis New Zealand's website. Emily Rice is an up-and-coming singer-songwriter about to embark on a journey across the world. I caught up with her before she leaves at Festival One to find out about her EP release.
It's a whole lot of the work that the music that I've been writing over the last couple of years, and Find Me Here is taken from part of, like, I kind of took it out of the last song. It doesn't say exactly that, but it's close to that, and I kind of feel like, because it's, you pour so much energy when you're making this kind of thing, so and it's, my heart's kind of in that right now, so
So we can find Emily Rice.
You can find me there.
And Find Me Here.
Yeah, exactly that.
So this is the pre-release, as we said. So what are you going to do for the actual big debut?
The official release is at the Golden Dawn on the 5th of February, and it's just going to be a party. It's going to be a good night.
It's almost like a little bit of a leaving do, one might say as well.
I'm sure I'll do another one as well. Actually, we're playing at the Victor Arena after that, which is going to be fun.
Well, that's a little bit big, isn't it? That's pretty big.
We just got asked to play like a couple of days ago with Starship Foundation. They do this like egg hunt thing, and so they're going to be we're going to be, the lights are all going to be off and everyone walks in, and then there's these statues all around the room, and we're going to be playing. So someone heard us play at Portland Public House, and they were like,
wow, that's something different. That's really different.
I've never played at Victor, so that's kind of cool.
Exactly. You're kind of leaving with a bang, really, aren't you? You're going
out strong.
Yeah, you're having this EP.
I'll finally get on the plane and just be like, I can sleep.
Because where are you going?
So I'm going to London for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I'm moving to Berlin indefinitely. Kind of probably for a year, and then I'll like either go somewhere else in Europe and stay there for a bit or whatever. I've got a one-way ticket, so I'll just see what happens.
Super exciting. And you want to carry on your music over there?
Yeah, that's the plan. So I did a degree in a Bachelor of Music. Finished that not last year because it's 2013. And yeah, so this year's just been going hard with my music. I've also started a vocal tutoring company, but yeah, next year the plan is just to do music and see how that goes. Yeah.
What do you reckon the audience over there is like? Do you think you're going to have to alter your songwriting or alter your kind of style for them? Or
I've had a lot of people say that the kind of stuff that's on the EP, like that kind of music, would fly well over there. So we'll see. Like it's yeah, you've just got to go and try it out, you know. I mean, if I need to adapt my style and whatever, like it's constantly changing.
Now you say that you really enjoy songwriting.
Yeah, I love it.
What do you like about it?
I guess it's the fact that you get to tell stories through your music and you get to connect with people, and I don't know, I'm real big on community, and I love the whole, like when you put on a gig or whatever, you have this whole room full of people and you're all there together, and I don't know, I don't know, people can take different things from your songs and stuff, but you're all there.
It's like most forms of art, isn't it?
Yeah.
People take something, their own experience.
Yeah, and then just connecting with those people and actually like meeting people after the gigs or whatever as well, so yeah.
Because you were actually part of a duo as well.
Still am.
You won't guess because you're playing it next week, aren't you?
We're actually playing in about an hour's time here.
Well, there we go. We'll go film that as well so you guys can see that. But why did you want to do some solo work as well?
So through the degree I was doing lots of my own writing as well, and some songs I'd write and then be like, oh, this is definitely We Still the Sun, this is a duo kind of song, and then others I was like, oh, I can imagine a band and all this big stuff going on, and so yeah, like it just, I don't know, I've really started. Yeah.
Wait for you to leave me here. Just hear me out before you walk away. Pardon me for the painful interjections, but I hate you. We can't all have good hearts. We've all got to start somewhere. Hating, don't let it turn you cold, 'cause all that you've been told, be here will come.
You can find out more about Emily Rice on her Facebook page. That is Central News for today. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can by liking our Facebook page, centralnews.tv, or you can email us, news@tvcentral.co.nz. Join me again tomorrow night for more stories from the Waikato and the Bay. I'm Hilary Entwistle. I hope you have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.